the big wow factor, other than 14 trips to the toilet the next day and collecting various pieces of rope and unusual items, the biggest thing is my mind not only got really clear and real lucid, but I could see all the dots connecting in my life. I saw the connection between gut health and mental health. All the people who are dealing with dementia and senility and ADD and Alzheimer's and autism, schizophrenia, depression, suicide, that's all because of the toxic overload that's pouring through the bloodstream. I also got the connection of why I haven't been able to gain weight in 30 years, because I wasn't absorbing nutrients. Which was real exciting, Maddie, because I could see all the raw foodists and all the raw vegans and all the fruitarian that aren't quite exactly as healthy as they could be, because they never cleaned out all the life they had and all the crap they eat prior to turning into fruitarian or a raw foodist. They never did the deep dive. Well, it happened. The first thing you have to realize, who's ever going to be watching this, is that you just owe it to yourself to take 2 days off from your life. Because the one day you're following everything, half an hour of water, half an hour enzymes, half an hour, blah, 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 all the way down to 9:30 at night, and you better stay near the hot water source, the toilet, and your bedroom. Right? So when that's over, things start cleaning up. Your body starts clearing up. Your mind starts understanding things you didn't because you had toxins in your bloodstream. You couldn't access the pathways to your higher self, or to your ability to have visions and transmissions, was interfered with. And it's so wonderful to be able to go, wow, I understand things I didn't understand before, and all I did was clean out my gut or my liver. And I have people who've watched me over the many, many decades. I've been a wellness practitioner since '79, and I got into the raw food journey in 1977. And back in the 70s and 80s, there's no internet. There's nothing to compare what you're going through with anybody. So there was no mentoring, there was no coaching, there was no support team. All that is available thanks to Telegram, and particularly with the ZenCleanz community. That really blows me away. Back then, you had nobody to bounce off of, because there was only authors and people in Boston and somewhere else, and you couldn't really have the kind of support structure we have now. So when I heard about the mucoid plaque, it was Bernard Jensen's work, intestinal cleansing. And then I tried all that and used all their products, and then discovered Richard Anderson, Dr. Richard Anderson, who had the Arise and Shine program. And everybody thought that was great. We all jumped on that. But these things took weeks, watching little improvements here and there. But the ZenCleanz is 24 hours. And the best way I can describe the power of these enzymes is not your mom's ordinary enzymes, guys. This is not the enzymes you find on the average market that's only fermented for 2 months. We're talking more than 3 years. These guys have taken it to a whole nother level. These are artists. They know how the body performs when you got the right enzymes. So when I teach people about the ZenCleanz, I say, guys, this is a category all into itself. You can't compare it with anything else. But when my friend Chitta Matt Senna, you might have heard of Matt Senna, he's a student and friend of mine, so he turns me on to it. Now, I trust my intuition. At one point, Matt's starting to dialogue and tell me more and more about it. And I said, I got it. Sign me up. And I'm at that place with my life, which I've done with other modalities, where I just trust my intuition. I don't need evidence. I don't need peer review articles. It's like, I got it. Let's do it. Well, parasites have a strong life urge. And if you come after them with wormwood and clove and all the typical anti-parasitic herbs, etc., they'll just relocate. Until you really hit them hard with the enzymes, they're going to camp out and, use you as a host. That's what they do.
A lot faster.
It's your insurance to not have to go to a doctor.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And as I like to tell people, it's your golden ticket back to wellness. And the neat thing that I've noticed, now I also work with urine therapy a lot. You might have picked up on that. But what I've noticed is the people who are cleaned out the toxicity, the toxic overload, the fatty deposits, the mucoid plaque, their brain chemistry, their brain is not only doesn't have toxins being poured up into the bloodstream and reabsorbing into the brain, causing all those problems. But what happens is the chemistry changes in the brain. There's a reset, and homeostasis comes back in alignment. And when your mind gets clear, that way you can see the bad choices that you used to make and choose better.
Thanks right now.
I'm sipping on Detox S.
I love it.
And even though I've gone already out of the rainbow cleanse, I'm still doing the maintenance cleanse. So I've got enzymes coming through me all day long. I'm still having 3 or 4 bowel movements a day and basically eating fruit, live spirulina, shivambu. Occasionally I'll have a green salad. But I have no interest in food. I mean, the place that I've been watching people get to is liberation from food slavery. I mean, the people who are really hooked on food, they'll never consider a fast, much less doing a cleanse. You can tell who's running their show.
Food. Wow.
It's food slavery, and we're going to have this conversation, Maddie. I'm sure you're going to have a lot with the Zen community, is that what screwed us up is using food as a reward and punishment. If you finish your plate, you get the pudding, you get the dessert. If you do this, if you don't, you get the punishment. You don't get it, you time out, blah, blah, blah. So without that polarity going on and you're not being drawn by those two internal forces, this is the beautiful thing about moving into fruitarianism, is that you're not eating because of the belief system that you're missing something and you're run by malnutrition mentality. You're eating out of pleasure. I love my papayas. I love my mangoes, and it's peach season still. I'm still finding peaches at the store. So you're more geared toward food that makes you feel good, that tastes good, not that you're eating it because, it's going to provide amino acids and protein. No. That's not even in the conversation anymore.
Oh, powerful.
Right. And in the process of our restoration, I like to call it the return to our natural order, our way of being, our soul's nature. And in returning to that, you're getting to understand that the body's either going through one or two cycles anyway. It's either restoring or it's repairing. It's either going through a releasing or it's a rebuilding and regenerating. So it keeps your life really simple. You don't have to complicate it, guys who are watching this. And I love doing these cleanses because your life, when you're not eating all the stuff you used to eat, your body's in cleanse mode all day long. You just learn how to operate during that time. And it's not that you're out of energy. I mean, I've got more energy now. I'm almost 70. I'm 68. And I got more energy now than I get in my 30s and 40s. I'm running circles around my friends. I'm up at 5:30. I'm nonstop till 10:30 at night. And the only thing I do to maintain that, to me, is like a marathon. I'll take 20-minute meditations and cat naps throughout the day, just so I can pace myself so the energy is consistent. I also change my clothes a lot because I'm into color therapy. And religious teachings and even the New Age teachings have tried to convince people that you don't have free will, which, that borderlines on saying, well, you're at the mercy of the universe, and if they want to mess with you, they can, but it's not true. You have God-given free will. You have divine right to tap into your inheritance, whether it's health, prosperity, intimate relationships. It's all right here, but we're not programmed to look at what's right here. So the ZenCleanz is it's a new frontier. As we've been evolving as a human species, this represents the evolution at this point. For me, the ZenCleanz, I mean, I teach a lot about urine therapy, and it complement each other. And we're both we moved to the place as a human species to have these answers, to have these solutions. And this to me is a demonstration of how much we've evolved. Enzymes have an intelligence. These enzymes have. I think the enzymes came with blueprints. They know genetic coding. They know what it's like to have a brand new cell, trillions of brand new cells. And trusting this process is part of the process, right? So the body is performing its job. Now, if we put enough, when, I just took that word and turned it around. When we put enough energy and attention that we put in our lifetime to try to seek and find the perfect remedy, the perfect supplement, the perfect food, We put that same amount of energy and commitment into these enzymes in this ZenCleanz program. You'll not only be amazed, but you'll have a quality of life you never imagined. What I do to create a better self and better world is a lot of self-care, a lot of self-love, of self-nurturing. Observe your mind, how it operates, choose new thoughts. And the best thing I have done for myself in years is to surrender to community. When I'm hosting these retreats, you realize that your stuff, your shit, doesn't have much of a chance when people are loving you. And so that's been really healthy for me, is to have practices that nurture you, nurture me, that I can feel the difference. Because you got your go-tos. If I'm in trouble, I got that enema bag. I'm going to get a massage next week. In my lifestyle, I get a massage every 2 weeks. I'm doing the ZenCleanz, I'm doing the urine therapy. I got to the point where I've got it fine dialed in. So I'm not making the destructive choices that I used to make. The addiction is gone, the things that I used to be hooked on. And that gives you a wonderful sense of peace, as well as the ability to stay centered and hold space for people who come to you off balance. And there's a lot of people that are going through a breakdown, which is really a breakthrough. So it's nice to be in a loving space to show them why they are where they are and help them make new choices.